4 of the worst Toyota engines you should definitely avoid, and 5 of their best engines that were ever made. Toyota is a brand with a reputation for bulletproof reliability, affordable maintenance, and engines that outlive the cars they're bolted into. From the legendary Land Cruiser diesels to the screaming Supra motors, Toyota has delivered some of the finest power plants in automotive history. But let's not kid ourselves. Toyota hasn't always been perfect. Behind the company's rock-solid reputation, there are also some engines that owners regret every single day. So today, we'll break down the 4 worst Toyota engines ever made, the ones that left people stranded, burned oil like crazy, or emptied wallets on repairs, and then we'll highlight the 5 best Toyota engines that earned legendary status worldwide. By the end, you'll know exactly which ones deserve your trust and which ones to avoid like the plague. The 4 worst Toyota engines ever made. Toyota 3 VZE, 1988 to 1995. Let's start with one of Toyota's biggest missteps, the 3 VZE V6. Found in mid-90s, trucks like the 4Runner and pickup, this engine was supposed to bring more power and smoothness compared to the old 4-cylinders. Instead, it became infamous for weak head gaskets. The design flaw in the cooling passages meant overheating was common, and once that happened, the gaskets would fail catastrophically. Owners complained about constant coolant loss, white smoke, and poor longevity. Add in underwhelming horsepower for its size and a heavy cast iron block, and you've got a motor that felt outdated even in its prime. It's reliable only if babied, but compared to Toyota's usual high standards, the 3 VZE stands out as a disappointment, especially considering how much maintenance it required for the limited performance it delivered compared to other engines of its era. Toyota 2 AZFE, 2000 to 2015. Next up is the 2 AZFE, a 2.4L inline-4 found in Camrys, RAV4s, and even some Scions. On paper, it seemed like a winner. Decent power, modern aluminum construction, and widespread availability. But in reality, this engine developed a reputation for excessive oil consumption and stripped head bolt threads. The problem was that Toyota cut corners on block design. Over time, the head bolts would lose clamping force, leading to blown head gaskets. Combine that with engines drinking oil at shocking rates, and owners faced major repair bills before hitting even 150,000 miles. It wasn't a total disaster. Some units ran fine with constant monitoring, but when you compare it to Toyota's bulletproof legacy engines, the 2 AZFE is one of their weakest efforts, leaving many disappointed when they expected the same legendary durability Toyota was known for. Toyota 22RE, late 1980s. Now here's a controversial one. The 22RE is loved by many for its simplicity and long life when properly maintained. But let's be honest, it also belongs on this worst list because of its chronic head gasket issues and lack of power. Yes, it could run forever if you were religious with oil changes, but Toyota actually had to issue a service campaign in the 1980s to fix recurring head gasket failures on thousands of these engines. And while reliability was okay, performance was abysmal. This motor barely moved a truck, especially with modern highway traffic. So while it's nostalgic and iconic, from a practical standpoint, the 22RE was outdated and problematic enough to deserve a place here, as it often left drivers frustrated by slow acceleration and costly recurring repairs despite its cult following. Toyota 3 MZFE, 2003 to 2007. The 3 MZFE 3.3 LV6 was meant to be smooth and powerful, powering Camrys, Avalons, and Lexus RX models. Instead, it developed a nasty reputation for oil sludge buildup. Sludge is essentially the death sentence of an engine, clogging passages and starving critical components of lubrication. Even with regular oil changes, some owners faced premature failures. Add in issues with carbon buildup and finicky sensors, and the 3 MZFE turned out to be one of Toyota's least loved modern V6s. It wasn't as catastrophic as the worst Chrysler engines, but for Toyota, the sludge scandal tarnished the reputation of an otherwise reliable brand. The 5 best Toyota engines ever made. Now that we've cleared out the disappointments, let's move to the good part. The Toyota engines that built the company's global reputation for longevity, strength, and performance. These are the motors you can buy with your full chest, knowing they'll deliver for decades. Toyota 2 JZ GTE, 1991 to 2002. No Toyota engine list is complete without the legendary 2JZ GTE, the twin-turbocharged inline-6 that powered the Mk4 Supra. This is the engine that cemented Toyota's place in performance history and built a cult following worldwide. The secret was in its overbuilt design, a cast-iron block, forged internals, and immense tuning potential. From the factory, it made around 276 to 320 horsepower, depending on market restrictions. But with bolt-on upgrades, it could handle 600 to 800 horsepower without breaking a sweat. Some tuners even pushed it past 1,000 horsepower with astonishing reliability. Beyond the numbers, it was incredibly durable. Even abused, the 2JZ just kept going, which is why it's still one of the most sought-after engines decades later. Simply put, the 2JZ GTE is Toyota's magnum opus and the ultimate showcase of Japanese engineering strength. Toyota 1UZ FE, 1989 to 2002. If the 2JZ was Toyota's performance masterpiece, the 1UZ FE was its luxury legend. This 4.0 LV8 debuted in the Lexus LS 400 and shocked the automotive world with how smooth, refined, and reliable it was right from the start. The engine featured forged steel crankshafts, lightweight construction, and meticulous engineering. It could run for 400,000 plus miles with basic maintenance. In fact, many LS 400s from the 90s are still on the road today, with original drivetrains that barely show signs of wear. The 1UZ wasn't just about comfort. It was tough too. Racers and drifters have swapped it into everything from sports cars to off-road trucks because it takes abuse while staying buttery smooth. This engine proved Toyota could beat the Germans at their own luxury game while offering reliability no one else could match, securing its place in history. Toyota 1 HDT, 1990s Land Cruisers. Now let's talk diesels. The 1 HDT 4.2L turbo diesel straight six is a legend among off-roaders. Found in Land Cruisers like the 80 series, it was built to survive extreme conditions. Deserts, jungles, mountains, you name it, this motor kept running. The 1 HDT delivered massive torque at low RPMs, perfect for crawling over rocks or hauling heavy loads. It could sip low-quality fuel in remote parts of the world and still keep going without hesitation. Its rugged simplicity made it easy to maintain, even in areas far from modern repair shops. When people say Toyota built engines that last forever, the 1 HD-T is one of the clearest examples. To this day, off-road enthusiasts, explorers, and survivalists hunt for these motors, knowing they can trust them where failure simply isn't an option. Toyota 4 AGE, 1983 to 1991. On the performance side, the 4 AGE 1.6L inline-4 was Toyota's answer to the hot hatch and lightweight sports car craze of the 80s. Found in cars like the AE86 Corolla, it became famous for its rev-happy nature and balanced power delivery. With dual overhead cams and later versions featuring variable valve timing, the 4 AGE was advanced for its era. It encouraged drivers to rev it high, creating an engaging driving experience. While it didn't make huge horsepower, its bulletproof reliability and tuning potential made it a cult classic. Even decades later, enthusiasts hunt for 4 AGEs to drop into project cars. It's proof that fun and durability can go hand in hand. Toyota 2 GRFE, 2005. Finally, the 2 GRFE, a 3.5 LV6 engine still in use today, represents Toyota's modern reliability at its finest. Found in Camrys, Avalons, Siennas, and even Lotuses, it delivers smooth power, great fuel efficiency, and a track record of longevity. This engine uses aluminum construction with advanced timing systems, yet avoids many of the pitfalls of other modern motors. With proper care, it's not unusual for the 2 GRFE to run 300,000 miles or more with minimal issues. It's powerful enough to make big sedans feel lively, yet simple enough to maintain. In many ways, it's the spiritual successor to Toyota's Golden Age engines, proof the company still knows how to build something bulletproof. So there you have it. The 4 worst and 5 best Toyota engines ever made. On the wrong side, we saw engines plagued by oil burning, head gasket failures, sludge buildup, and weak designs that stained Toyota's reputation. But on the other side, we explored the icons, the two JZs, one UZs, diesel workhorses, and silky V6s that made Toyota legendary across the globe. If you're in the market for a Toyota-powered car, truck, or SUV, knowing which engines to avoid and which ones to embrace is the difference between endless headaches and a vehicle that will serve you faithfully for decades. Now I want to hear from you. Did your favorite Toyota engine make this list? Do you agree with these rankings, or do you think another Toyota motor deserves the crown? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss more breakdowns of the best and worst machines in automotive history.